Hiya review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video, and in this one I'm going to be covering the new Misery Signals record entitled Ultraviolet. So, new record from Misery Signals, who have been kicking it for nearly 2 decades at this point. After a string of records that were released fairly close to one another in the 2000s, they released their last studio-length record, Absent Light, back in 2013, and for the most part, it has been silence ever since then. But here we are, 2020 keeps bringing surprises. Here's a new record. In the past, the boys have always been influenced by a vast pool of bands and artists and genres, everything from progressive music to post-rock to melodic hardcore, metalcore, and quite a few things in between. So one of my biggest questions going into this record was, would they sound dated in the current field of metalcore? Would they be able to stand the test of time and have a fresh sound coming in with their new record? And yes, while bold risks aren't taken in massive strides on this record, from a purist perspective alone, looking through that glass period, it's a solid effort. It is the type of hyper-melodic rhythm guitar playing with background embellishments and empowered vocals that burrow their way into your ears and will not get out no matter how hard you try. They waste practically no time with the opener on this record, a barn burner that accelerates into galloping metallic riffs on numerous occasions. The riffs on this track are very earwormy, very catchy, but still in a heavy way, and the hold on refrain on this track just goes to prove how sticky a lot of the moments on this record can be. And the responsibility of that lies solely on the back of sheer experience, in my opinion. While I doubt anyone's books would contain thoughts that this record is innovative in any way, you simply cannot put a price tag on quality songwriting that doesn't breach or reroute the conventional but still provides a welcoming experience to specific admirers of a genre as a whole. And they don't seem to be biting off anyone else's trees that much on this record. They specifically don't really have to, because despite the tumultuous lineup changes and a variety of moments of silence, they have the tooth and enamel for this. With that being said, some moments on this record leave me scratching my head from a little bit of one-dimensional riff writing or just generally songwriting. With a lot of these 2000s-esque, chuggy, thrash metal-inspired metalcore riffs that just roll along, it recalls a great host of bands from that day and age that they came from, including themselves. They at times will come off derivative briefly. This combined with some bridge build-ups that read as a tad bit one-dimensional, as well as the post-rock bits and interludes on this track listing feeling like some of the weaker ones that they have come through with, the more melancholic, drifty, psychedelic sections just being a bit toned down by their own standards, and many moments on this record can just feel iffy. The instrumental breakup of Sunlifter, the quick progression near the end of the interlude track Redemption Key, I believe should have been fleshed out a bit longer. One of the more interesting instrumental moments and vocal moments, but it's just sold short by the short length of the track and doesn't have the same resonance if it was stretched out a little bit or more well defined. Not to mention the ending track Some Dreams outro being drug on far too long. I get the fade out thing for records, but here it just feels dumb. Not to mention this track as a whole feels like it could have been placed anywhere on the record and would have served the same exact purpose. You could have slapped this at the front or the back or the middle of the record, and it doesn't necessarily feel like a strong closing point. And yes, while I am bringing up points that deduct the value a bit for me personally for the record, I do think that the pros far outweigh the cons. It has more perks than flaws, I think. The tight recording of this record serves it well phenomenally. Some of the vocal mixing is just very good. I really like the layering on the track Old Ghost specifically. I like how they have a crisp understanding of space and distance in a mix, especially a metalcore release that has ambient sections to it. As a whole, the riffs are very crisp, great drum work to this whole thing. I particularly enjoy the vocals as a whole. They're very in your face and they're blunt without ever being swallowing. And the track listing has a compact and consistently rough sound, save for the moments where they opt for more of a spacious sound soundscape. Yeah, Misery Signals in 2020 isn't sounding like the most unique or fresh band, but what they do sound like is a consistent band that knows exactly how to stay in their own lane and craft a record that is true to themselves, but also feels like it takes hints from the current scene as well as the scene that they are birthed from, and what more can you really ask for? While there is a batch of moments on this record that I wish would be more defined, would be more fleshed out, as a whole I'm feeling pretty positively about this record. Definitely worth a shot, definitely worth a listen. I'm going to be giving this record a 6.5 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Have you heard this new Misery Signals record, Ultraviolet? If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. I would love to discuss this record with you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.